that if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, sounds like a duck, looks like a duck, it's almost certainly a duck. And the problem in this case is that the government was never prepared to describe that animal as a duck. And it must have known from a very early period. Indeed, the first senior Treasury Counsel said yesterday that even in August he had made this point abundantly plain to the government that unless it reconsidered its approach and described the blasted animal as a duck, the case would go down the pan. In August, nothing to do. The right honourable gentleman says to me that there was nothing to prevent the government, through its expert witness, saying, in our view, China was a national security threat in 2021. Nothing at all to prevent it. This was a question. No, I won't. Too short a time. There was nothing to prevent it because it was a question of fact. The fact is that the government was not prepared to change its approach.
And it still isn't.
Now, it's a perfectly legitimate point for the right honourable gentleman to say to me, back in 2021, the policy of the government was not to describe China as an enemy. But by that time, we had not had the spying, the intimidation, the direct targeting on this institution and the democratic assembly of our people that we had seen we have seen now by 2025. Things have moved on, and it was incumbent upon the government now to reconsider the approach that it had, which was that it would not describe a duck as a duck.
And it still won't.
What the witness was prepared to say is it has webbed feet, it swims, it quacks, it has a bill. But we're not prepared to call it a duck. Now, are you telling me, Madam Speaker, that the right honourable gentleman can look this House in the eye and say that nobody raised this problem? Inside number 10? We have a policy problem. It's a roadblock to this case. What are we going to do about it? That was never discussed with the National Security Advisor. The DNSA never raised that with any relevant minister. The Attorney General, when he met on the 3rd of September, says, well, I couldn't intervene on matters of sufficiency of evidence. Perfectly true. He can't intervene. But he could challenge. He could say, what do you need? Is there anything I can do by way of intercession with ministries to ensure that you get the evidence that you require? But nothing was said. Nothing was said on the 3rd of September because nothing was the policy of the government. It was to wait while this case slid down the slope straight into the pan where no doubt many of the not inaptly named mandarins of Whitehall were perfectly content to see it slide. And so the extraordinary cheek of the right honourable gentleman who comes to this House pretending that 5 years ago, with his humble address, when he asked for legal advice on the most sensitive negotiating matters that this country was engaged in with the Berlaymont, should be disclosed for all to see, that we should not now see the truth of what in reality the government was saying and doing at the time. Madam Deputy Speaker, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's almost certainly a duck, and when I apply it to what the right honourable gentleman is saying, it's almost certainly a complete crock of old duck. Thank you.